meeting with my half-sister. A parley with Euraxia is a capital idea. I'll send word to Rimmon to expect us. It just so happens I already have one. It involves distracting my half-sister with wit, charm, and words she barely comprehends. Oh, and you. Euraxia never could resist a pretty face. You'll pretend to be my bodyguard and personal valet. Consider it obfuscation to hide your true purpose. We don't want to give Euraxia a reason to react poorly to overtures of reconciliation. Not that I... Go on, go on. I'm capable of traveling to Rimmon on my own. We'll meet up at the city gates and go to the... We're not very close. About 6 years ago. Of course not.
This one hates the idea of talking to the usurper queen. We should be stabbing her in the neck. Still, Nalado sees the necessity, even if she doesn't like it. Euraxia will almost certainly betray you, so be careful when you face her, yes? By marching into Elsweyr with a mercenary army and slaughtering our rightful Khajiit rulers. Not only did the usurper slay our king and queen...
A parley with the usurper queen. I doubt she'll agree to any sort of diplomatic solution. But it will buy us time to replenish our resources. She marched...
I expected sorrow and despair. On the surface, yes. But peace through tyranny provides false harmony. It would be better if I showed you. Follow me and I'll demonstrate the true depths of my half-sister's villainy. Her grip on Rimmon. Very well. But what I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart. Follow me. Have you ever visited a Rimmon workhouse? They treat the Khajiit workers worse than
rumors
slaves.
about Ashen Scar. Undead, mainly. I guess I can mark visiting there.
It's that building over there. For most of Rimmon's Khajiit, it's the only job available to them.
You haven't heard that a necromancer is trying to stop the undead.
The workhouse serves to snare the poor. One of the first things Euraxia did after declaring herself... The Rimmon Khajiit? No. Oh, Euraxia is clever. She pays the Khajiit, and the workhouse isn't technically a prison. On the surface, it appears to be a place that helps society's unfortunates, but underneath, it's slavery without any of the uncomfortable trappings. Now, let's visit the Rimmon marketplace. Take a look around. Business seems to be thriving, but appearances can be deceiving. It may be hard to see, but the Khajiit merchants struggle to keep their stalls open, while the less bestial business people rake in the profits. Euraxia would have you believe it's a matter of work ethic, but we know better. Unfairly doesn't begin to cover it. Khajiiti merchants must deal with high tariffs, extra inspection fees, costly licenses. On the surface, it seems Come along. I want to show you the improvements Euraxia made to the palace wall. See the trebuchets? Notice how they're aimed into the city below. See how the siege weapons sit upon the walls? When it comes right down to how else do you think Euraxia maintains order and keeps the Elsweyr defense force at bay? She declared publicly and has repeated often that any attempt to liberate Rimmon will see her unleash the full fury of the siege weapons upon the city. If Euraxia can't have Rimmon, then neither can anyone else. She'd destroy the city in a heartbeat if she thought she was in danger of losing. Absolutely not. But the lie makes her supporters feel better. The Khajiit know that even a peaceful protest could result in the destruction of Rimmon. So far, no one has dared to challenge Euraxia's will in this matter, and for good reason. When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
Ah, here come Queen Euraxia's guests now.
I don't like the looks of these meddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and be done with it.
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen's inner sanctum, huh? I am Queen Euraxia's chief necromancer. You may call me Zumog Foom. The other grave callers answer to me. And this is my familiar and confidant, Sir Cadwell the Betrayer. Ah, yes. The Betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the dark night that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. My actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite...
Now about the rest of my body, oh pestilent one.
Presenting
Your insults
Abner
won't
Tharn,
hasten the
Grand
process,
Chancellor and
betrayer.
Overlord of Nibene, Imperial Battle Mage of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, half-brother. Your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen...
Hush, Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
You heard her. Good luck.
My sources indicated that my half-brother's associate was somewhat taller. Oh well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with members of the A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiiti army and took control of the Rimmon throne? Sweet talk? From an associate of my half-brother? I'm flattered. Shall we retire to the dungeons? We'll engage in the most interesting activities, you and I. You'll positively beg for mercy right up until the end, and then I'll give you to Foom. Do not presume to lecture me. I make the rules here, not you or Abner. I have a special relationship with Mulan Mir, an understanding. The dragons will secure my hold over Elsweyr, and there's nothing you or my half-brother can do to stop them. Enough! Zumog Foom, what news do you bring?
The Desert Wind Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guards, take them to the dungeons.
I think not. Prepare for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, I heard two things, one thing at a time. The way out, finally. I can't abide another moment in this stench. Well, that's an experience I won't be adding to my memoirs. We'll separate here. Make it harder for Euraxia's lackeys to follow us. Now. Things actually turned out better than I expected. We know that Euraxia wants something from the Desert Wind Adeptorium, and we know she's about to launch a counter-strike against Riverhold. That's not exactly true. If my power wasn't depleted, well, let's not digress. I'll go to Riverhold and warn Garishri. We'll make sure the city is ready for the attack. Meanwhile, you find out what's happening at the Desert Wind Adeptorium. Adeptoriums serve the same function as monasteries in other parts of Tamriel. Desert Wind and its adepts are dedicated to the Jan Kaj, literally the Order of the Desert Wind. No.